Day 32. Reading. The first clone in the world. Last part. Yami accepted her responsibility gladly and departed for earth. Then Surya turned to Yam. You will be placed in charge of the protection of Dharma, the deity of justice. You will rule the world in a fair manner. You will keep account of every being's good karma and bad karma, and at their death, you will dole out punishment and reward accordingly. You will uphold your duty to every human sincerely without mercy or favor. May you be blessed with knowledge. From this day on, you will be called Yamdharma. Yamdharma also accepted his responsibility gladly and departed for Mrityulok, the place where all souls go after death. Now Surya turned to Shani and said, You are completely useless. I will not give you any responsibility. Shani was taken aback. He had not expected this treatment from his own father. He looked at Sanjana. Mother, why are you quiet? Be honest with me. You haven't cared for me since I was young. Whenever I fight with father, you don't try to stop it. Because of your behavior, I have become a frustrated and depressed man. What kind of parents are you? Nobody should have a mother like you. Sanjana was livid. She interrupted him. You have abused your mother. A mother is the strongest force in this world, no matter how she is. I cursed that your leg get paralyzed from this moment on. Immediately, Shani fell to the ground, and as one of his legs gave away and showed signs of paralysis, Surya was startled by Sanjana's ferocity. Shani's behavior is understandable. He is young and still learning the way of the world. But how can a mother curse her child? He wondered. He turned to Sanjana and said, I am astounded by the harsh and quick curse you have placed upon your own son. How can you do this? It is your duty to console him and guide him with patience. I am beginning to think that there is some truth to Shani's allegation. Tell me what is going on. Sanjana, who had been holding this secret in her heart for a long time, couldn't contain it any longer and spilled the beans about Chaya and her son Shani. Surya's heart filled with compassion for the motherless boy. He said, My son, I have made a grave mistake. I am guilty of being too busy with my duties to notice the difference between Sanjana and Chaya. But that is no excuse. The fact is that you have suffered dearly because of my error. I will reverse Sanjana's curse. But a small limp will always remember in your leg because I too don't have the power to neutralize a mother's curse completely. Now try and stand. As Sunny stood up, Surya added, I have given your brother the grave responsibility of judgment after death, and you, my son, I gave the harder responsibility of doing out judgments, punishment, and rewards. But it will be during people's lifetimes so they can learn and improve themselves. You will have an indispensable place in the planetary system as Saturn. Do your duty sincerely, without fever or fear, just like your brother Yam. You will have control all over people's ego and will check their nature, leading them to prosperity. You will not spare anyone from the consequences of their actions, irrespective of whether they are a human, god, or demon. I'm sorry that I can't undo the past or take away your suffering. But I assure you that This position will make you the most powerful planet. Shani was surprised. I am happy that the truth has been disclosed, he said. Now I can find closure and peace in this revelation. Father, I will obey your orders. I will appear in every person's life a maximum of 3 times, and each time I will stay with him or her for 7.5 years. It will be called Sadesati. The person will feel pain as intense as my suffering, but they will emerge stronger and purer from the experience, and I will be very compassionate with him or her. Since we both have a history of conflict, I will not stay with you in the same house in an astrological horoscope to avoid further difficulties. Surya nodded in agreement and Sunny departed. Surya now turned his focus towards his wife. He was furious with Sanjana, and so he increased the intensity of his heat until she was forced to leave her home and her husband. Sanjana was too ashamed to go back to her father. She had already resided with Surya for a long time, and her body temperature was warm. So she went to the Himalayas to live alone. Still, she was afraid that someone might recognize her there and decided to change her from form to that of a mare. As time went on, Surya's anger dissipated and he became calm. Thoughts of Sanjana flooded his mind. I think there was a genuine reason for the cloning. My heat is unbearable. I maintain my intensity all day. Perhaps I should have had a conversation with Sanjana instead of just expecting her to adjust to me. Maybe I can still change. I can be gentle in the mornings, attain my maximum temperature gradually by noon, and reduce it towards the evening, finally retiring for the night. Surely Sanjana can live with me comfortably then. Convinced that this was the right move, Surya went in search of her. He could not find her anywhere, but since he was the sun god, he could see everything in the world. Eventually, he learnt that she had transformed into a mare that lived in the Himalayas. That lived in the Himalayas. Off he went to locate her, disguised as a horse. When Sanjana laid eyes on him, she saw through the disguise and knew that it was her husband. They spoke openly, and Surya shared his thoughts. Then finally came to an understanding and decided to live in the Himalayas for some time. Soon Sanjana had twin horses called the Ashwini Kumars from the term Ashwa, meaning horse in Sanskrit, and the couple returned to their home. The twins grew up to be physicians in the heavens and were the maintained controllers of the horses yoked to Surya's golden chariot. The Ashwini Kumars arrived in the morning as rays and go to work. It is believed that they are the early sun rays that are helpful in